Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've seen a lot of trades, a lot of moves, a lot of player stories that seemed impossible at first glance. But let me tell you, what's happening right now, right this very second, is something I've never seen before in my entire career. Something so massive, so jaw-droppingly unexpected, that it's sending shockwaves through the entire NFL landscape. And here's the kicker. It's all happening behind closed doors in whisper-only meetings, with protocols so tight that even the most seasoned insiders are struggling to get a glimpse. If I'm right, and I know I am, this could redefine the future of the Cleveland Browns. But more than that, it could shake the entire league to its core. And I promise you, what's coming is even bigger than what you're hearing right now. Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal what I believe to be the secret weapon that Cleveland is about to unleash. A move so audacious, so transformative, that it shifts the balance of power for years to come. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's about to unfold. Before I go any further, I need you to do one thing. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and turn on that bell. Because what I'm about to drop here isn't just a rumor, it's a revelation. Only the true insiders and the biggest fans will get the full story. If you want to see history in the making, this is your moment. But listen, this isn't just about watching a transaction happen. This is about understanding the game within the game, the chess moves that define legacies, the secrets that could put Cleveland on the map as a dominant force for the next decade. Are you ready? Then let's dive deep, because the story I'm about to tell you is one for the ages. Now, let's peel back the curtain and look at Cleveland's current situation. The Browns are right now in a state of transition, a near-identity crisis that's complicated by underwhelming results and a gnawing sense that something bigger is brewing. Todd Monken's hiring as head coach is just the surface. Behind the scenes, there's a seismic shift happening on defense, especially along that front seven. Myles Garrett remains the unquestioned star, the heartbeat of the team, but the secondary, still a work in progress. The offensive side, rebuilding, yes, but with a heavy focus on acquiring explosive skill players. Yet what the Browns truly lack, and desperately need, is a disruptive force along the edge. A player who can not only produce sacks but command double teams, alter the entire offensive game plan of their opponents. And that's where Lucas Van Ness, the former first-round pick of the Green Bay Packers, comes into focus. Let's break down what Cleveland needs most. Since their disastrous 2025 campaign, the Browns have looked for that missing piece, a game-changer on defense who can elevate the entire unit. Film studies show that their pass rush, while promising at times, has lacked a consistent, elite presence on third down. Garrett is a beast, but he's best inside or against double teams. Mason Graham has shown flashes, but isn't yet the disruptive force they need. The linebackers, solid but not game-changing, don't have that elite edge rusher to threaten offenses like the Ravens, Odafe Oweh, or the Bengals, Sam Hubbard. Opposing quarterbacks have been able to sit back and pick apart Cleveland's secondary, and that's a death sentence in today's NFL. Analytics confirm this. Pressures are good, but sacks are what truly swing momentum. Cleveland needs someone who can convert pressures into game-changing sacks, someone who demands attention, a player who makes opposing offenses have to game plan around him. And that is exactly why the perfect solution is out there. Someone with the raw explosiveness, the technical refinement, and the upside to change the narrative. You see, they're eyeing a player like Lucas Van Ness, a guy whose highlight reel is full of flashes, but whose true potential remains untapped because of injury and role limitations. But make no mistake, what Van Ness offers is elite-level talent that can be unlocked with the right system. Imagine him lining up opposite Garrett, with Graham inside, forcing double teams and disrupting the timing of every play. That's the kind of upgrade Cleveland desperately needs. Now, if you think about the film, you see a player who's got exceptional burst off the line, with quick hands that slip blockers with ease. His college tape at Iowa, a notoriously tough, disciplined program, showcased a guy with the rare ability to bend the edge, bend the pocket, and threaten quarterbacks with relentless effort. Even in limited snaps in Green Bay, Van Ness demonstrated the explosiveness and high motor that scouts fell in love with at the Combine. His pressure numbers in 2025, often overshadowed by injury-shortened games, reveal a high-impact player when healthy. He amassed 23 pressures in just 151 pass rush snaps, an incredible pressure rate of 15%. The league's established edge rushers like Micah Parsons or Max Crosby might have higher sack totals, but Van Ness's ability to generate pressure in such a small sample size, especially as a rotational piece, speaks volumes. The advanced stats show a player whose win rate in one-on-one matchups ranks among the top in his class. So why all the fuss? Because scouts are raving behind closed doors. The buzz in NFL circles is that Van Ness, despite his injury issues, is one of the most physically gifted pass rushers of his draft class, with the raw tools to become an elite. The problem: his current role in Green Bay has limited his exposure. He's been a rotational player, often overshadowed by Parsons and Rashan Gary, who dominate the spotlight. But what if that's exactly why Cleveland sees him as a diamond in the rough, a player they can bring in, develop, and make their own? With their defensive scheme under Mike Rutenberg leaning heavily on aggressive edge rushers, Van Ness's skill set fits like a glove. The Browns can offer him a starring role, a place to grow, and a chance to become the anchor of their defense for years. Now, the mechanics of this trade, how it could happen, that's where things get intricate, but also extremely interesting. Cleveland's assets are robust, with the number 6 and number 24 picks in the upcoming draft. Plus, they have a handful of veterans and cap space to work with. Green Bay, on the other hand, is in a tricky spot. They're operating under the weight of a roster needing upgrades everywhere, plus the fact that Van Ness's rookie deal is winding down. The Packers could see a package involving multiple draft picks, maybe a future third or fourth rounder, plus a player or two who fits their immediate needs. The key is Cleveland's willingness to part with high-value picks, knowing that Van Ness's upside could justify a bold move. Salary cap-wise, Cleveland can make this work. They have enough room to take on Van Ness's rookie deal, and adding a conditional pick structure or a player swap could sweeten the deal for Green Bay. For the Packers, moving Van Ness now before his fifth-year option costs spike makes sense. They get draft capital and cap relief, and perhaps a chance to rebuild around young talent elsewhere. It's a win-win that could set both sides up for long-term success. The question is, will Green Bay bite? And more importantly, is Cleveland prepared to make the aggressive, calculated move that could define their future? Now, let's talk about how Van Ness would fit in Cleveland's scheme. Under Monken, who's emphasizing a balanced attack but values aggressive, versatile defenders, Van Ness's skill set checks all the boxes. His ability to rush from different angles, combined with his length and motor, gives him the versatility to line up inside or outside. Think about how teams like the Jets or the Ravens deploy their pass rushers: unpredictability, depth, and relentless pressure. That's what Van Ness could bring. And don't forget, with Monken's offensive background, Cleveland's defense will be designed to maximize explosive plays. Van Ness's style fits that philosophy perfectly. In comparison, Van Ness bears similarities to players like Max Crosby, or even a slightly less refined but very promising J.J. Watt during his early years. Both Watt and Crosby came into the league with raw talent, high motor, and an impressive ability to affect the game, with Van Ness's upside being comparable if he continues to develop. His worst-case scenario: he remains a rotational player, a good but not elite edge. But in Cleveland's environment, with the right coaching and health, his ceiling is a Pro Bowl-caliber pass rusher who can change the complexion of games. And here's the kicker: the timeline. The NFL offseason is just heating up. The draft is around the corner, free agency is about to explode, and Cleveland is poised to make a splash. If this trade happens, expect it to be announced in the days immediately following the combine, the perfect storm of evaluation, negotiation, and strategy. By the start of free agency, the Browns could have their new defensive cornerstone in place, ready to challenge their AFC North rivals with a revamped, relentless front. So, what's my verdict? Based on my insider connections, my years watching tape, and the league whispers I keep hearing, I believe this is a trade that is not only plausible but imminent, and the reasons are clear. Cleveland sees the potential, the upside, and the perfect fit in Van Ness. Green Bay needs cap relief, draft capital, and perhaps a fresh start for their young pass rusher. The stars are aligning, and I'd put my reputation on it. Lucas Van Ness is about to become a Cleveland Brown. This isn't just speculation. This is strategic genius in motion. Watch the coming days. Watch the drama unfold. Because what's happening right now could be remembered as a defining moment, a move that shifts the entire NFL landscape. And if you're smart, if you're really plugged in, you'll see it coming long before anyone else does. Stay locked because I'll be right here breaking down every detail of this historic deal as soon as it's done. This is the kind of move that sets a franchise apart. And Cleveland, they're about to make history. Will it happen in the next week? You better believe it. And when it does, trust me, you'll want to say you saw it coming all along.